So, Notion. Over the past year, I've been seeing this app Notion everywhere on the interwebs. So many of the YouTubers that I follow use this app to plan and organize their life. And to be completely honest with you, I've been resisting using Notion this entire time because I've never really been a digital planning kind of person. I've had physical planners to organize my life ever since I was 13 years old. And I've always loved the creative process of physically writing out and drawing on my journals. So when Notion started appearing everywhere on YouTube, I just didn't really bother trying to figure out what it was. But you know what? It's been an entire year since I first ever saw Notion, and the number of people who still seem to swear by this app seems to be growing and growing. And so I thought, it's the digital age, it's important to stay relevant in this economy, and so why not just try Notion for 30 days to see what the hype is about? By the way, this video is completely not sponsored. It's just created purely for all those other tech noobs and or physical planner users and lovers like me. So let's figure out together if this Notion thing is just cult of productivity BS or it actually helps. So right now, I'm just going to go through my setup of Notion. I haven't really put much into it yet. When you first open up a Notion account, it looks something like this, but I've already set up everything for what I think works for me personally because I know if I did it on the screen with you guys, we would be here for 2 hours. If you've watched any of my previous goal setting videos or physical journaling videos, which I will link up over here, you would know that I already have pre-existing goal setting and planning systems in my bullet journal. I basically transferred everything I already do on my physical journal, such as monthly spreads and my goal setting systems, all onto Notion. So this is my today page. This is where I'm gonna put down all my to-dos for that day. And this is something that I've already started using, the weekly habit tracker. One thing that I like in particular about it is how you can set a goal for the week, and this weekly status is going to tell you whether you achieved it. I also really love this monthly gratitude thing that I have going. I basically write my gratitudes at the end of every day into this section. I also really like that there's a calendar view for this. And over time, this is all going to fill up with journal entries basically. And I love that there's a digital record of my days, right? By the way, a lot of the elements of my Notion pages were actually templates taken off of someone else. This seems really complicated, but after clicking around for like 2 hours, I managed to figure out how things work, and after a while it becomes a lot more intuitive. So moving on to the monthly overview, which is basically something I already do in physical form. Like for example, this is my January monthly spread, and I'm going to be moving all of this over onto this blank canvas that I have right now, which is the Notion page that's called January Overview. So how I usually plan my to-dos, which I talk about in a previous video over here, is I write down my monthly to-dos and then I plan my weekly to-dos. And that's kind of what I'm doing as well in Notion. I have my monthly to-dos, which I'm going to input over here. This is where I'm going to write all my to-dos for the subsequent weeks. I also filmed all my other Notion pages, as you can see here, but I don't want this section to be too long, so I'm just going to skip over these parts. However, if you would like to see my entire Notion setup, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely make a video on that. For now, let's get back to the video. So here are some of my initial thoughts. I think setting up Notion can be really fun and exciting because it's something shiny and new, right? But since I already have a system for physical planning in my journal, I wonder whether using Notion would be redundant or really help me become that much more efficient. Also, I spent so much time setting up the pages that I have, getting used to Notion, understanding how it all works, and I'm thinking, if it's supposed to be a productivity tool, isn't it supposed to help us cut down on the amount of time that we're spending on planning? But who knows, maybe Notion will help me end up being more productive over time. For now, I am pretty optimistic about Notion because it seems really sleek and easy to use as a system. But I'll keep you updated on my thoughts as I use Notion in the next 30 days. So there began my month-long adventure of trying Notion. I downloaded the Notion app and I found it so convenient because it allowed me to update my to-do list on the go. It made my today page very accessible, and I actually used that page every single day. and it allowed me to have a central place to write down my to-dos, gratitude journal, and track my habits all at the same time. I just really liked having everything on my phone because I always have my phone with me, and it meant that I didn't have to carry my physical planner around. In the past, I would always have to carry around my journal, which is kind of heavy. Either that or I would have to take a photo of the to-do page in my physical journal, which was kind of weird as well. I also liked the features of Notion itself. It was very easy to edit, and in that sense, it's better than having a physical planner because it's easier to edit or add things. And because it's an electronic platform, I'm also able to write more in less time. Like when I journal my gratitudes, I can write a lot more. It's also very easily customizable based on what you want and your needs for a planner. I honestly found it very easy to get adjusted to using Notion, and it actually very quickly replaced my physical planners in my life. You know, I secretly wish that I had more negative things to say about Notion to make this whole video a little bit more balanced, but I can't really think of any ways in which I didn't enjoy using it. Perhaps if I was a more artsy person and I didn't use my journals solely for planning, but also as a creative outlet, to scrapbook or to draw on, then perhaps I would have found Notion a little bit lacking in that it's customizable, but only to a certain extent. I can't really add drawings and things like that. When I was younger, as you can see from all these earlier bullet journals that I had from a couple of years ago, I used to be super creative, but now I just use my journals in a very efficient way and I don't really do as much drawing on them anymore. So that's why I found Notion to overall be a great substitute. So at the end of January, I used Notion to do my monthly review, and it took a lot less time than when I use my physical planner to do my monthly review. And that was a definite plus in my book because for me, planning is supposed to make me more efficient as opposed to less. I really liked that I could move all my to-dos around very seamlessly, obviously because I could just cut and paste them, and overall it was a very seamless and easy process. Am I going to continue using a Notion? For me, the answer is yes, because the benefits of Notion outweigh the negatives. Notion is great for having everything in one place. I love the convenience of not having to bring my planner around and also just generally being able to edit my to-dos on the go. I can make edits to my pages a lot more easily than a physical journal because obviously I can delete things and add things in if I forgot them. I also like the fact that Notion is very customizable depending on what you need. I personally use my to-do list, my gratitude log, as well as my habit tracker every single day, but other people might use different pages. I also like that there are entire templates that you can just take off of other people from Notion. You also save money because you don't have to buy a new journal every single time you use it up. However, I don't think Notion is for everyone. I think Notion isn't for someone who is a very creative soul, who loves drawing on their journals, really customizing it to the fullest extent possible. Someone who really craves the process of writing and design using pen and paper. The second type of person that I don't think Notion would be super helpful for are people who are not so tech savvy and not so interested in learning how to use Notion at the beginning. In a similar vein, someone with a very simple productivity system, like just writing a to-do list and picking the 3 most important things every single day, will find Notion a little bit too complicated to justify how to use the entire platform. I, on the other hand, have become pretty used to how Notion works and I really do like it, so I'm going to keep using it. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys real soon. Bye.